So here are my ingredients for a taco soup. I've made this before on a previous video in a small crock pot. This time I'm gonna make it in a pot, a regular pot. It's gonna make a bigger soup. I'll go through the ingredients with you. First I'm gonna use a little olive oil. You can use olive oil, avocado oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever oil you prefer. Then I'm gonna add cooking stock, the chicken cooking stock. I usually add broth, but I forgot to pick some up at the store, and I had these for a different recipe. I was gonna make a gumbo later, and I had these on hand for that, and I'm just gonna break into them now. Then we've got chili beans. I'm not sure if I'll use both cans. We have black chili beans and also mixed chili beans. So adding the chili beans just adds a little flavor. You could totally just add regular beans. I don't know when I started adding the chili beans, but I think when I cook it in the crock pot it adds flavor because it's just a small soup, so I'm not adding as many spices. And then we have diced tomatoes and Rotel. This is the original. Sometimes I use the mild, but right now all I have is the original, so that's what we'll use. The squash is not for the recipe, it's just the pumpkin and squash are just for show. Then we have onion, bell pepper, and bell pepper. So green bell pepper, colorful bell peppers, and onion. I'm just gonna finish up this bag. I like to freeze them. I buy a bunch and freeze, that way I just have them on hand. I'm gonna use ground beef this time. Last time I used ground turkey. We've got 90%, 90-10 pasture raised ground beef. You could use any beef or turkey or ground chicken variety. You could even just use sometimes I'll just use a rotisserie chicken. We've got fire roasted corn. I'm using the mild taco seasoning because the Rotel original will be spicy. So I figured we'll use the taco seasoning that's mild, so it's not too spicy. These are to add afterward. Sharp cheddar and Frito chips. The avocado could be used. You can also add avocado at the end if you want. These are not there for that reason. I just bought them to eat with breakfast, and I have them sitting here. But these two I will use once the soup is made. And so there it is. I didn't show, here they are, my seasonings. I'm also gonna season with Tony's Chachere's and pretty much everything. So I'll season this I'll use this while I'm cooking with it. And anytime I make soup, I add a bay leaf. So there'll be a bay leaf in there at some point. So these are all the ingredients, and I'm gonna go through and show you how I make it. So here I've added a little bit of olive oil to the pan, about a tablespoon. You could use more or less. I just wanted something to kind of coat the pan a little bit. I added the pound of ground beef, and I'm adding just a little bit of Tony's just to kind of start it off. Once it cooks down a little, I'll add the bay leaf and kind of let that all cook. Now I'm just gonna add a bay leaf. I've seen a lot of these taco soup recipes online, and I haven't seen anyone add bay leaves, but I generally add them to any soup that I make. So I'm just gonna pop one in there and kind of let it cook with the meat for a minute, and then I'll add the other items. Lowered the heat down to medium, and I'm gonna add I decided to go with the black beans, so I'm gonna add these. And I'm gonna add the diced tomatoes. And the Rotel for flavor. And now it's time to add the stock. All right, we have 1 carton of cooking stock. This is the 32 ounces. Like I said, I usually use broth, but we'll see how stock goes in this. I usually save the stock for when I'm cooking gumbo, but we're gonna add it to this soup. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna need another carton. I think 1 will be fine. So I'm gonna let this simmer. I'm gonna turn the heat back up for a minute while everything cooks. So I'm gonna add this taco seasoning and let it all come to a light boil for just a minute, and then I'll put it down and let it simmer. I like to add this at this point because it'll gel with all the flavors. Some people add it when they're cooking the meat, but I don't know, I like to add it at the end. Alright, so literally it's been kind of boiling like this just for about 10 seconds. I'm going to let that continue just a minute. And then I'm going to lower the heat and let it simmer. And then at the end, I will add, when I'm ready to eat it, I'll add the frozen corn so it doesn't get too soft. Alright, I'm going to lower it and let it simmer. Alright, so I lowered it to medium. I'm going to add the corn. And who doesn't love corn? So that was just a 16-ounce bag of corn. This is the fire roasted corn. You don't have to use fire roasted, you could use whatever you want. Alright, so here it is. It's been simmering a little while. I think it looks delicious. I'm ready to dig in. But literally, it probably took me from start to finish about 30 minutes and then just a little longer to let it simmer. Doesn't take long to cook. It helps to have the vegetables already chopped because that can save right there about 15 minutes. Not having to chop your veggies. I love having my frozen veggies already in the freezer, ready to pull out. And here we have. I'm gonna serve it up and eat it. Here it is, ready to go. So I just added the corn chips. I added some in the bowl and some on the side to add as I eat it so they don't all get soggy. And like I said, you could add avocado. I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just gonna eat it simply like this. I'm ready to dig in. And here we have it, taco soup, step-by-step recipe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.